Hello friends, welcome to the 18th session of Hybris tutorial. In this session, we will learn about the Hybris business process retry mechanism. We will explain where the Hybris business process retry mechanism is used, how it looks like, and then we will create a new Hybris business process retry mechanism from the scratch. So firstly, before starting this video, if you have not watched the video related to Hybris business process, I will request you to watch the video. The link of the video is given in the description box as well as on the top right corner in the card section. So you can watch that video. After that, you should start watching this video. Only then concepts will be clear to you. If you have not done the setup of B2C accelerator, you should do the setup. The link of the video is given in the description box as well as in the top right corner. So I have already done the setup and that is why my server is up. So firstly, I will show you how a business process retry mechanism looks like. So if I just open the back office and I am in the business process section, and if I just open any business process, so I am just opening this business process, and over here you can see we do have multiple actions. I have already explained these actions in my previous videos related to business process, but over here you can see the first action was Hybris tube action 1, after that action 2 ran, and after that you can see action 3 is running on the repeat mode. So it means this action 3 is retrying itself multiple times. So this is Hybris business process retry mechanism. I will be explaining you why it is retrying itself multiple times, how it is retrying itself multiple times, why, where this configuration is done. I will be explaining you in this video. But firstly, I will explain what is the use of this retry mechanism in actual scenarios, in actual production environment where we use this retry mechanism. So now you should have a blur idea what retry mechanism does. So retry mechanism basically reruns a task at specific interval of time, right? So if you see this business process, you will see like the firstly Hybris tube action 3 ran at 9:30 on 3rd of February, then it ran on 9:35, then it ran on 9:49, then at 10:09 p.m. right? So it is running at a specific interval of time. Now I will be explaining you where it is actually used. So it is basically used when we have an integration with some third party. So like when an order is placed, right? So in most of the systems, when the order is placed, what we do, we export this order to warehouse, right? So we export the order to warehouse, but before exporting the order to warehouse, what we do, we create a order, we create the same order which is created in Hybris, we create the same order in SAP system as well. So this is basically a third party system, and this system is basically for the reconciliation purposes. So we create the same order in SAP system. I'm just giving you one example. There can be some other integration in your project, but I'm just taking one example. Once the order is placed, so that order is created in Hybris, then we create the same order in SAP system, right? And for that we make a web service call to SAP system, right? So our requirement is once we get the response from SAP system, only then we will be exporting the order to warehouse, right? So once we get the response from SAP system, only then we export the order to warehouse. right? So it means the exporting to warehouse, order exportation to warehouse is now completely dependent on the SAP response. So now there can be two scenarios in the SAP response: either we successfully get the response from SAP, or there is some error, right? There is some error, right? So error can be like there can be some connection issue, the connection between Hybris and SAP is broken. So when there is some error, it means we have to retry, right? We have to resend the request to SAP. So since we know like the errors like connection issue or any other type of issue, these are the temporary errors. If we retry or resend the request to SAP again, so this connection issue, if the connection issue is no longer persisting, then that request will be successfully reached to SAP system, and we will be successfully getting the response from SAP system, right? So this type of request is also made through a business process. So we create a business process for this task as well, for creating order to SAP system. I will be showing you this as well in the upcoming videos. So for that, again, we have business process, and inside business process we do have multiple actions, right? So totally dependent on the business process, this activity is also. So now if a business process, the first time this attempt is failed, like we have not got any response from SAP system, or we have got the error response, right? So it means we have to again send a request to SAP system. So it means we need some type of retry mechanism, which will be basically again sending the request to SAP system, and it will keep sending the request to SAP system till the time we don't get the success response from the SAP system. And as soon as we get the success response from the SAP system, we will stop retry mechanism. So we will stop retry mechanism after we get the success response. After we get success response from SAP system, and once we get the success response from SAP system, then we will be exporting the order to warehouse, right? So this is the one condition where I have told you where we need the business process retry mechanism. Like I told you, to create the order in SAP system, we create a business process. Inside the business process, you know better, we create actions. So in case the action which is basically creating the order in SAP system that gets failed, or there is some connection issue, temporary issue, right? So we need to resend the request to, or resend or rerun the action, right, to send the request to SAP system. So that is why there is a need of retry mechanism. So this is an example where we use the retry mechanism, right? And I have already shown you how retry mechanism work. The same action runs multiple times. So like over here some error comes, right? It is again retrying in some time, again trying to send the request in some time. If still error comes, it is again retrying. So this is how Hybris retry mechanism works. Now I will be firstly showing you how this retrying mechanism is working. So I will firstly show you our process.xml. In the last video I had told you we have three main files. One is process.xml, then process spring.xml, and then we have action beans, right? I have already told you in our previous video, but you can see over here I have defined three actions. These are the nodes, right? Action is a type of node. So this is Hybris tube action. If it is returning okay, then I am going to Hybris tube action 2. Over here I have defined Hybris tube action 2. If it is returning okay, then we are going to Hybris tube action 3. And here you can see we have Hybris tube action 3, right? So if we are getting the okay response, then we will be going to basically success, and if it is returning not okay, then we will be going to error response. Just skip this line for now because it is of no use. So this is how I have defined this Hybris tube action 3. Of course, I have given the detailed explanation or attached the class with this Hybris tube action 3 in process spring.xml. Over here you can see I have given this class mapping, right? Here I have declared that the parent of this bean is abstract action. I have already told you in our previous video how to declare a action in process spring.xml. And this is my Hybris tube action 3. Here I am executing that retry mechanism which you are seeing over here. Action 3 is running again and again. Why it is running again and again? What I have done, so this is a basic action like we used to define. We used to extend this to abstract simple decision action class or abstract action class we can define. So this is already what we know. And over here this is the execute action. Why this execute action is there? Because this is action defined in this abstract simple decision action. That is why, because we are extending this abstract class, that is why we have to override this method, right? This already we have studied in our previous video. But here what I have done, I have just thrown the retry later exception. So I have just appended throws retry later exception, and over here I am just throwing a retry later exception, right? And since every time when this action comes, when our flow comes in this section, since I have declared this throws retry later exception, and over here I have just thrown the retry later exception, that is why it is retrying again and again, right? So this is how this retry later exception mechanism is working. So basically this is out of box functionality provided by Hybris only. What we have to do, we just have to throw a retry later exception, right? This exception, and over here I am actually throwing this exception. So whenever it encounters this exception, it will automatically reruns this rerun this action or rerun this task. So this is how retry later exception. So we just have to do two things. Firstly, we have to declare over here throws retry later exception, and then inside our API we need to throw the retry later exception. So if I just take example of SAP, which I was telling you, I'm just doing a rough code. So I will be basically write a method boolean is response from SAP success, right? So here I will be just making a call to call SAP. I'm not creating this method. I just want to show you this for demo purpose. So I will be just passing this process, right? Because I just want to show you like every time we will not throw this exception. We will be throwing this exception in particular scenarios only. Otherwise this retry mechanism will go on and it will never end, right? So over here I am just calling this SAP, and if is response, I will be just creating a empty method so that this exception no longer comes. So if the response from SAP is success, right? So what we will do, we will be returning the transition as okay, right? But if the response and if the transition is okay, over here you can see if the transition is okay, then the business process will move to success. And in the last video I had shown you, if business process moves to success, then the business process gets completed, and we will see this message something like this. But if I just want if the response is not success, Then what I will do, I will just write like this, else throw new retry later exception, right? So in this way, I am retrying or making another request to SAP system when there is some error in the response from SAP system. So this is how we use the Hybris business process retry later mechanism. So you can see when the success response comes, it is not retrying, but if there is some error in connection, right, it will throw this exception, and when it throws this exception, this action will be executed again, right, and it will be executed again in some time, and again it will be checking, okay, this time if the response from SAP is success or not. If it is success, then it will not again throw the retry later exception, it will be returning transition dot okay, and if this response is okay, then we will, go to this state and business process gets completed, right? So over here you can see these all are the actions defined, and if you see last time it ran at on 4th of February 9:53, right, on 4th of February 9:53. Now next time when it will run, so we can see this in current task, and over here you will see next time this action will be running, and when this action will be running, you can see at 11:18 this action will be running automatically. So I will be just reverting the changes which I have done. So I am just reverting the changes because I showed these changes only for the demo purpose, how or where we use this retry mechanism in actual scenarios. So this is my simple code which I have written just to show you how the retry later mechanism works in Hybris. I'm just throwing the retry later exception in every scenario. That is why this action is retrying again and again, and it will keep retrying until the time I don't delete this business process. I don't delete this business process, or I don't stop my server. It will keep retrying because every time this will be throwing the exception, right? So let's wait for the 11:18. I will be skipping this portion, and at 11:18 I will show you that the control will come over here, and it will be basically coming to this point, and it will be again throwing some exception, and then this action will be again planned for some next time. So I will be showing you this portion. After that, I will be showing you. So you can see over here, this is the out of box functionality which is provided by Hybris we are using, right? Here it is, retrying again and again, right? But in actual scenarios, we do have requirement like we will not retry this to infinite time, right? We should have some limitation, like system will retry only for 20 times or 30 times. After that, system will not retry, and it will just, or the business process will just go into error state. So this type of scenarios we generally need in actual production environment. So there should be some limitation, because if we are using this out of box retry lateral mechanism, then there is no limitation. It will keep throwing the exception, it will keep throwing the exception, and it will never stop, right? So to put that limitation, like in how much time these actions should run and how many times these actions should run, we can customize this mechanism. I will be showing you after this portion. So guys, as you can see, now the time is 11:18, and this has automatically come this into this class and into this action class. And if I show you in our business process, you will see it was scheduled for this time only at 11:18. So you can see after I run this after I run this action again, so this time will get updated, this time will get updated to some new time. So let's try to run this action, So I will be just clicking uh, over here, and you will see now the again exception has been thrown and the same log has been printed into the server as well. And let's try to see if new retry time has been updated or not. So I will be simply clicking on the refresh button, and you will see at this time 11:90 again the action has run. And let's see what is the new time for running this action. I will be just clicking over here, and then you will see the new time for running the action is Hybris tube action 3 is. So it will be basically running now at 1:59 p.m. after the approximate 2 hours from now. So this is how Hybris retry mechanism works. So to implement this, you just have to do two changes. You just have to firstly write this throws retry later exception with the execute action method, and in whatever the condition you want to throw that exception, just throw that exception retry later exception. Now what I will be doing, I will be creating another class, another action class, right? And there in that class I will be limiting the number of times when this action should run, right? So I will be doing that. You need to do some additional configurations. So what steps you have to follow? So like in a particular action, in the execute action method, what you have to do, firstly you need to firstly decide so how many number of times you want the action to run. So maximum number of time you need to decide that count. Say if I just decide that count, maximum number of time action needs to be run is equal to say 4, right? So it means I want that action to run maximum 4 times. So first time if the action runs and we get an error, right, like we are trying to get a response from SAP and we get an error, so the action will again run, right? So it will run maximum 4 times. So this is what, and inside the execute action method, what I will do, firstly I will be deciding, right, that I should retry further or not, right? So I will be basically deciding or checking if I should retry or not. So how I will be checking, I will be basically inside this should retry method, so it will be something like this: public retry should retry. So inside this I will be showing you this as well in the code, but for now I just want to show you the skeleton, how our code or logic will look like. That is why I am showing you a rough overview over here. So here what I will be doing, I will be basically checking whether my maximum retry count has been passed or not. So like 4 time action has already been run, right? So if I am now attempting 5th time, so it will return me a value which is false, right? So it will be basically, here I will be checking if my current count exceed maximum, this one maximum, right? So in that case I will be basically, right, returning the false value. It means now I don't need to retry further, right? So I will be returning false, else I will be returning true. It means now I should have to retry further, right? So this is what I will be doing. Now how I will be deciding what is my current count, right? So basically this current count, this count will be saved in a parameter which is business process parameter. So we retain this object in business process only. If I can just show you example over here, you can see we do have these two business process parameters. So first business process parameter is basically to retain the count, how many times this action has already been run. So you can see here we retain the retry number or the count, how many times this action has been run. So this value is encoded value, you cannot read from here or from the backend in the database table directly, but when you make a call it understands automatically what is the current count. I will show you that. And there is second variable business process parameter, which is basically deciding the delay. So it basically decides now from this time after how much time the next action should run. So we are retaining the variable values in the business process parameter. So I hope now you understand what this business process parameter does. So basically there are two things. One is the business process parameter and second one is the process task, right? So process task basically tells what is the current action or what is the current node which is running. Like I showed you, it tells us like current node or current action is Hybris tube action 2 or action 3. So it basically tells which action is currently running, and these business process parameters basically holds the variable values, like after how much time I need to retry, or it holds the count, the action has already been run. So how many times this action has already been run, this variable holds that count, right? So you can see now from this variable business process parameter I get this count, and I just decide, right? So if it is giving me a true value, then I will be writing a logic to retry the current action. If my retry count has already been passed, then what I will be doing, I will be basically throwing right like this transition dot not okay, and in my process.xml I will be basically mapping not okay with an error. So business process will go in error. So it means when the maximum retry count has passed, I will be returning not okay, and when I return not okay in process.xml I will be mapping not okay with the error. And so it means after passing the count, business process will go into the error state, right? But till the time maximum retry count is not passed, the system will keep retrying the or keep rerunning the action in specific interval of time, and business process state will remain in running state, right? So how this retry mechanism is done, so for that we basically do something like this. We define an object retry later exception, right? Something like this. I will show you in code as well, but I just wanted to show you a skeleton. So what I will be basically doing, so there I will be basically writing exception dot set delay, and over here I will be mentioning the delay in milliseconds, right? There we need to mention the delay in milliseconds. So if I am writing like this, it means this is the these are the millisecond delay I am putting. It is basically the 1 hour, right? Over here I need to put some more values, right? So like how there can be linear delay or there can be exponential delay. I need to mention those as well. I will be showing those parameter, but basically this is the basic skeleton for a retry mechanism. So now I will be showing you a code. I have already implemented this for you. So I have created a new action which is action 4, and I have defined this in my process.xml. You can see over here I have defined this action 4. How this action 4 is called, this is getting called from Hybris tube action 3 when it returns the OK state at the time this action is called. And over here you can see I'm retrying or returning three type of transitions. If it is okay, then it should go to success. If it is not okay, then it should go to error. If it is retry, then it should go to Hybris tube action 3, right? So this is what I am returning over here, right? So if I and you know better how to declare the bean. This is declared in process spring.xml. You can see over here I have declared the bean, right?
So guys, this is Hybris Tube Action 4 where I have written the retry mechanism. I have already told you like the this mapping of this action is defined in process.xml. As I already told you, inside this process.xml only I have declared this action type. You can see over here I have declared this action 4, and this action 4 is called on the success or OK transition from the Hybris Tube action 3, right? So inside it we have written these three retries. So if I just go to Hybris Tube action 4, you will see inside this. So here I have declared the maximum of retry, like it will be basically retrying maximum number of 6 times. So this action will be retrying maximum of 6 times. So first time if say we get an error response from any third party, it will again retry, and it will be retrying maximum to 6 times. After that it will throw an error. So this is the code what I have written. So I will be basically showing you. This is execute method. Over here what I have done, I have written a method if should retry. If it should retry is basically checking whether my retry attempt has been crossed to 6 or not. If it is not crossed, then it will be basically returning the value as a true. If the retry attempt has been maximum retry attempt has been crossed, then it will be returning as a false. In that case I will not be retrying further. So in this method I am calling this method increment number of retries. Over here I have written the logic. So basically, as I already told you, we are storing the value in business process parameter. Like over here we create this business process parameter. So inside this business process parameter we are saving the value of retry attempt, how many times we have attempted to retry. If I can show you, you will see that I have given the configuration like we you can see this is retry number. So over here we are saving the value of retry attempt, and I am just printing the value like this is my retry number, current retry number is this, and maximum retry allowed is this. So its value is 6, right? Maximum number of retry. And then it increase the count. Say if my current retry number is 4, then it will be increasing it to 5, and then again I am printing, right? So when this log will be printing like current retry number is 7 and maximum retry number is 6, right? At that time the system should stop retrying and this business process should go into error state. I will show you that demo as well, but for now I just wanted to show you the this class what I have written inside this class. So you can also create your own demo class in the same way what I have written in this class, right? So now I will be basically creating I will be showing you how this is behaving. So what I will do, I will be basically going to our apparel store. I will do sign out and will try to do a registration again from the very beginning. So I am doing a registration and I will be just giving its name as Aman the business process test. Okay, so I will be writing the same name as a last name, and email ID is also same. Then I will be putting the same password and the same password over here as well. So I will just click on the confirm button. Then we should have a business process created with this name. You will see we will have a business process created. So I will be quickly trying to search over here if we have a new business process created with this name or not, and you will see a new business process has been created with this name. So you can see it is currently in the running state. So let's try to open this. So you will see that now a business process has been created. It is in the running state, and inside this process task, you know better that we are saving the current state, which action is running currently. That is the thing we are saving. You can see action 1 and action 2 and 3 has been run, and inside action 3 we are calling action 4. You will see now action 4 has been called. So now it should be called 6 time, right? So let's see if it's called 6 time or not. Over here you will see we are printing as well. I had shown you a log, so before and after we are printing log, right? So these logs should be printing. So let's see, you can see now this retry attempt is 1 and maximum retry number is 6. So after incrementing, it is showing current retry number is 2 and maximum retry number is 6. You can see over here I am printing this second log, right, after this incrementation of this current count. And if I show you this, you will see now it has, retried 1 2 3 and 4 times. So the same log should have been printed over here as well. So now it has retried for 5 and it is retrying 6 time. It should be printing one more log, then this business process should go into error state. So let's see what is the current still. Now it has gone into error state, and let's see in the log. You will see this log has been printed, and that is why it has gone into error state. So it means now this business process has retried 6 times. So this is how you can implement your custom retry mechanism. Like you can limit the count of retrying number in your business process as well. So there is one more thing, guys, I want to tell you. When you are adding one action, right? So over here, like I have one action, Hybris tube action 4, right? So because these three actions were already there, right? So there is one suggestion: you should never add one transition into existing action. Like I should not add one more transition, something like this. Transition name is equal to something like this. Transition name is equal to wait. I should never do like this, because we save this state into our database. So if we do like this in actual production environment, this will be creating lots of problem. Business process which are previously created before doing this step, those will get impacted. So we should never do like this. We should never add another transition into an existing action. So to do that, what we should do, we should create another action, and inside that action we should implement the logic which we want to achieve by adding another transition. So this is one important concept you should know. So guys, this is all about the retry mechanism in the business process, and where we use this retry mechanism in business process. As you can see, like this is execute method over here. Say if I am making a call to I'm just putting a rough code over here. So like I am making a call to a third party, say SAP third party, right? I will be making a call, and if my response is null, right? I have not got any response, right? Then what I should do, I should be basically calling this mechanism, right? And and if my response, I will be doing it like this: if null is equal to response, so basically in that scenario I should be calling this method, right? Else I should be calling this method, or I should be returning okay statement if my response is okay. It's up to you how you write your logic, but my funda is based on the response. If response is in failure state, then you should implement your retry mechanism. If it is in success state, then you should throw the okay, so that business process will go into success state. But if the response is there, but response is not of desired type, then you should throw a not okay. so that the business process will go into error state. But this is how you can implement the retry mechanism in your system. You just have to follow the same steps which I have shown you in this class. So I will be showing you again this class so that you can also do the same thing. Over here I have written the maximum number of retries, then execute method. Inside this is the main thing. It is basically telling me if my count of maximum allowed attempt has been passed or not, and this is basically this API. And inside this over here I am calculating that count logic, right? So this is all about the Hybris retry mechanism. So guys, I hope you like this video. If you like this video, do share this with your friends. Thank you for watching. Bye.